जी बेहतर ठीक है
Hello, you are watching my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Kamran. Today I have invited a guest in this vlog and I'm gonna discuss her life, her vision, her goals, and most importantly, her faith. Hi and welcome. We are delighted to have Suman Khan here today. Suman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Assalamu alaikum and thank you so much for having me here. I'm glad to be a part of this interview.
Okay, but to kick off, could you please tell us what inspired you to pursue a career as training manager, developing talent, and enhancing skills, and definitely perhaps share a bit about your journey leading up to your current role?
So, to be very honest, the first and foremost thing is it's all about being confident. When you're confident, you can do everything in this world. If you have enough courage to go there, to go on the stage and face that audience, it means everything. If you are an introvert, I know it might be difficult for you to go and face the audience right away, but it takes time. First, you have to gather some courage, take few steps fogily, but with the passage of time, of course, it gets better. And by the end, you get the results with which you actually yourself are surprised. Because in the beginning, I was a kind of girl. I myself was afraid of few things that I didn't know. Like I didn't know that I had this talent that I can go confidently in front of someone and speak out loud. So it happened from the beginning. I was a shy girl, but when I was in 8th to 9th standard, it was my first time performing a speech.
Mhm,
So in the beginning, it was really hard for me to face the audience, but with the
mhm,
passage of time, it got easier, and
mhm,
I became,
mhm,
adopted this thing. So
mhm,
it's all the thing. Keep trying, and don't think that it's difficult. Always remember,
mhm.
there's always a chance to improve yourself.
Okay, so one question, it can be a personal question, and I hope you mind it at all, right? So the question is that when did you find yourself that you are made for
Well, I didn't know. To be very honest, I didn't know. But my teachers, everyone around me, they came to know that I have this thing in myself. Like
what kind of things they
recently,
highlighted at that time? Communication skills or a confidence? Because you're a female, and a lot of female who are actually working in different offices, different departments, so they don't have this kind of confidence, which I have observed in you. So what is that actually in you? Energy?
the thing is that I'm a talkative person. I like to talk a lot. I'm always like, when someone asks me a question, being a
Uh,
talkative person out of habit, even if I don't want to answer that particular question, I keep on answering over and over again, exaggerating thing, elaborating thing. Like this thing came from my sister and my
mm,
mother, because
mm,
they are
mm,
teachers, so
mm,
they used to teach people. So this thing, I guess, I have adopted from them, that I always keep talking. And
mm,
to be very honest, if you are an optimistic person, you won't think that people are discouraging you or they don't want you to speak. You'll always
mm,
take it as an opportunity to speak at your best and speak as good as you can. So you will
mm,
not, overthink or overdo anything. So you'll
mm.
go with the. So it's all about going with the flow.
Actually, the most amazing thing which I have observed, I'm talking to you and I'm getting energy from your side.
Sorry, I missed that. Can you repeat it?
I mean, I'm talking to you and I'm getting energy from your side.
Thank you so much.
This
That's
is
a
actually
great
the good thing
compliment.
in your personality. Your personality should be like you. Anyways, let's move on because I'm admiring when it's not a good thing. Okay, what are some effective strategies for preparing for the IELTS exam, especially for those who struggle with specific sections like speaking or writing?
When it comes to specifically reading and writing,
Hmm.
to be very honest, I have seen many students failing in these two particular parts, because
Hmm.
from the very beginning, we came from a background where we have learned English from an indirect method where our tutors used to teach us in Urdu, and by the end, they want us to write and speak in English. So that's not, that's not fair. So we have to practice it, do it over and over again. We have to keep trying. So the key to success is keep trying. If you're doing anything specifically when it comes to speaking part, there are few modules that you can learn, like the introduction part, the routine. You have to learn these particular things, and you should know that your accent, your vocabulary, your pronunciation, and grammar, they must be, you need to mend yourself in all these things before you go for the IELTS exam. And when it comes to writing, you should know that your grammar must be accurate. If you're not a pro, make sure to use shorter and easy sentences, easy vocabulary. That is a good to go thing. You don't need to overdo things, learn tough vocabulary. And it happened many times. I've seen students failing that they start to learn difficult vocabularies and difficult sentences, compound sentences, and overdo things. And I guess that's
And
not a great
they
act.
actually don't have the skill even introduce themselves.
Sorry?
They actually don't have that skill that they don't introduce themselves. That my name is Kamran, and they will be shy, and they are actually looking for the highest vocabulary that we have to make our vocabulary strong. We should focus on the fluency as well, and they don't have even the skill to introduce themselves.
That's very true. I agree. I 100% agree to this. That's
Then
true.
what tips do you give to them?
Well, the tips are, you don't have to, can you just once repeat the question again?
Sure. Actually, my
The
point is that if I am unable to speak in English, so my teacher said
Mhm.
to me, if you have a fear or you don't even know how to speak in English, then speak. It only practice. And the
Yes.
people I have seen a lot of people. They are actually looking for the vocabulary. They are actually have focus on fluency, but they don't know how to introduce themselves. They are unable to speak. So how do you find that, and what tips do you give to that student? This is my question.
That's really a great thing that you have shared right now. That the thing that people do is they don't speak. They want to speak, but they won't speak. The reason behind that is they are introverted, they are shy, they don't want to, come to the light. And because they overthink that people are watching us, they are afraid of people around them, the social, the stuff like that. So
But I
I
am
would
an
like to,
extrovert. I am unable to speak in English very well.
sorry, I missed it again. Your
So
voice
yeah,
isn't.
actually, I was telling you that I am an extrovert person, and I also don't know how to speak in English well, but I speak.
That's a great thing. You are a motivation for those people who are introvert, but they don't just come forward and speak. That's a great motivation. And
Hmm.
to be honest, when I was a student of, I guess, ninth grade, so
Hmm.
people used to call me monkey. So that's the fun thing. The reason
Hmm.
behind that is they won't speak. That's their problem. But I speak English. That was a great stuff for them that she speaks English. So that's, uh, you know,
Why she
strange
speak
kind of
English?
thing.
They were thinking why she speak English.
They would always exaggerate this thing that speaking English, to be very honest, in today's world,
Hmm.
to be very honest, in today's world, speaking English is considered as a level of intelligence. If a person is speaking English, he or she is considered intelligent. But
Uh,
I would like to clear this thing up that we aren't scientists, doctors, or philosophers. We are normal people, just like all the people around this world. We just speak English because we practice it. We've done it. Like we always speak English because we keep practicing in our daily life. So that is
As
why.
far as I know about your question, you are talking about English language is just a medium to conversation, right? To convey the message to
Yes.
the other that I want this. But we actually think about English language that it was a difficult thing. We were unable to understand that. We were not being able to speak in English in front of people. I was one of them, but I tried. I'm not very well in speaking in English. I can say that, but I'm trying. Let's see what's going to happen in the future.
No, you're doing really great. The reason for that is the confidence that you have, and you're facing people out there. That takes a lot of courage, and that comes with the, time, practice, and everything. You have to face your fears. And if you cannot fight your fears, sorry, you'll always stay at the place where you are. You'll always be there.
All right. Okay. Suman, what are the most common mistakes test takers make during the IELTS exam, and how can they avoid them?
So the first mistake that they make is they misinterpret the questions. Instead of being in hurry, instead of reading the question, they start writing the answer. So how can you write the answer without reading the questions consciously? You have to be very conscious. It doesn't matter if it is one statement question, two statement, or if it takes three statement. Just
Mm,
take time, read it
mm,
carefully, and answer them one by one. You have to follow the keywords. So, I have
mm,
seen this happening.
mm,
I have also seen this happening. That a
mm,
student, like it was a positive statement, the student wrote it in a negative statement, the answer in the negative statement. And I was surprised. I would rather say shocked. I was shocked to see what he has done. And
mm,
the only reason was misinterpreting the question. So it's really
mm.
important.
Okay,
And
fine.
also, I would like to add another thing, time management is also an issue. The
Mm,
students, they must practice managing time before giving, before going for the test. Because if you know that the essay is going to take like 20 or 40 minutes and you are doing it like within 45 minutes, it's not good. It's not a
mm.
great idea. You must practice before you go there.
That's totally understandable. Okay, let's move on. Suman, if someone is stuck at a certain band score, what steps can they take to improve and reach their target score?
Mhm. Uh, okay. So, you said if someone is banned,
Yeah,
is it the statement?
talking about the band, if
If
someone
someone,
is stuck at a band score,
okay,
so
band score. So you're talking about the band score. Whatever is your desired band score, you have to make a schedule. Make sure it is subjective. Write it down. There are 4 modules: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. You have to write them down. Write down the queries. Write down the schedule that you have to practice. So go on and follow the schedule, and make sure you practice on daily basis. Don't skip a day, because once you skip a day, it will also cause effect on your regular practice.
okay,
So
fine.
stick to the schedule, and it
Hmm.
again.
I have a question, another question, which is not related to this field, but it's a question. Actually, Suman, I have seen a lot of people who never go any school, any college, or any university as well. So they are illiterate person. So do you think that they can speak in English? They can learn English?
I believe because English is just a language. It's
Oh, that's
not
great.
anything, you know, everyone can learn English just with practice. It just takes time. You have to
Hmm.
practice. Like the first thing that you can do is you can start to mimicking. What do we say? It is an imitating process. You know, how do kids learn English? Most of the time it happens if our kids are watching English cartoons, they start learning words. Well, I heard a word that was a kid started saying, she was 1.5 years old, and she started saying, Mama, it's sleepy time. So the girl came to know that it's sleeping time. So she started saying it's sleepy time. So these things come from imitating. So just like that, what you can do is start learning and speaking like the other people speak. And after imitating them over and over again, doing regular practices, you'll be capable of speaking well.
Hmm. And how much time did you take to learn English language or IELTS and all that, you know?
Well, that depends. How much time does it take? To be honest, it depends on the student, the hard work he is putting in, and the time he spends on practicing. We cannot
If I
say it
talk
take
about
like
yourself,
seven,
how
eight.
much time did you take or did you manage for yourself to learn English?
Okay, how much time did I take? Here, I would say I started speaking when I was a schoolgirl. I started speaking when I was a schoolgirl. I kept on speaking. I never stopped. So after that, I joined a sector called AML Institute. It's Al Sadiq Institute of Modern Languages. And I would love to call out the name. I
Hmm.
would love to say the name out loud because it is the sector that gave me the strength, to mend my English well.
They
It
deserve
molded
that.
my English into a because one of my teacher, his name was Sir. Sorry, I forgot his name. He was an amazing teacher. He was in Kanpur back then. I am literally feeling embarrassed because if he would be watching this interview, he would be saying she forgot my name. I guess his name was Sir Badar. Sir Badar. So he was an amazing teacher. He taught us really well. He was a man with a beard. We have this concept in our minds like man with a beard. He must be, Maulvi kind of thing. But he was the kind of man when he showed up and started speaking, literally, we were just having our eyes on his face and we couldn't even move our eyes. He was so good in English. Mashallah, he was the one of the greatest mentors I ever had. Na?
Have a mentor in my life now as
Good to know.
well. Okay.
Good to know.
Okay. And how does IELTS compare to other English proficiency tests like TOEFL or TTE? And what should one consider when choosing between them?
Well, each test depends on the requirements. Like if you need to go abroad, you know better if you want to do IELTS or PTE. No matter which test you're choosing, it's all about English. Reading, writing, speaking, listening. The thing is, the language is still English. So you cannot choose you cannot go ahead and say, go ahead and choose IELTS, go ahead and choose PTE. It's not about choosing a test, it's about improving your English. So if you're improving your English, you can go with either test.
And what suggests you to those who wants to go to abroad?
Uh, Sorry, I couldn't hear that clearly.
Actually, what suggests you to those people, to those students who wants to go to abroad?
Mhm. Okay, can I just read the question? Because it isn't audible. Can you say,
Actually, I am asking
just.
that it's not the question. Actually, I'm creating this question through your discussion. I'm
Uh-huh.
asking
So,
if I want to go to abroad, what will you
mhm.
suggest me that you have to go with that course, like IELTS or PT?
Okay. So if you want to go abroad, first suppose if you want to study further, or if you want to go further, I would recommend you to go for IELTS because your English is good to go. Um,
All right, no
okay.
problem. We live
So
in
the
Pakistan,
lights are
so
out.
no, I can
Okay.
understand. No problem. Carry on.
So, uh,
You're
so
talking
the thing
about me,
is,
I think.
yes. So you can choose IELTS if you're going for study visa. You can choose IELTS academic. If you're going to work, you can choose IELTS general IELTS actually.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. And what are some practical tips for test day to help candidates perform at their best under pressure?
Well, the first thing I would recommend them to don't stress it. Don't take stress. It's all going
Hmm.
to be fine. Eat well,
Hmm.
sleep well, have good food. Especially, I would like a person like me, if I'm going to have some test or if I'm going to have something bigger in my life, before doing that, I would like to have some chocolates and ice creams. So I would suggest you to do the same, because I don't want, see, if you're going to achieve something in your life, don't stress it. If it has to come, it will come to you, definitely. But if it isn't meant for you, it will never come to you. Just learn this thing in your life and try accepting things in your life. It's okay if you fail, because even if you fail, you're going to try again and you're going to make it. Don't feel like it is the last day, it is the last thing. I know the financial crisis, everything, it actually stresses you out, that how you're going to manage it, how you're going to do it. So I would just recommend you to don't overstress, do your best, keep practicing, and by the last day, like if it's your test day tomorrow, I don't want you to start pulling out your books, your notes, and everything. Do it one day before, like 2 days before the interview. One day
And
before your interview, sleep well,
okay.
take rest, and good to go.
And as a teacher, as an instructor, if I ask you, what rate will you give it to me out of 10 on my English speaking skills, or what tips will you give it to me to improve them? I'm talking about the flaws.
What tips will I give you to improve your
Yeah.
English?
Yeah, out of 10. And what tips will you give it to me? I have to
Okay, you
overcome.
want me to score your English?
Yeah, as a language instructor, you don't know about me that I'm the
As
anchor or
an
I'm taking
instructor.
your interview.
Um,
I'm a student in
being a
front of
language
you.
instructor,
Yeah.
like, it's not just about see, the thing is, it's about confidence, it's about making others understand what you're saying.
Hmm.
And to be very honest, right now the thing was that the audio was like the sound is low. I am understanding whatever you're saying, I'm getting your point, I'm getting your questions, and everything is good to go. So I can give you like 7 out of 10. So
All
your
right.
English is good, it's
Oh,
pretty good.
that's great. Now I'll get the medal as well, inshallah. Okay, Suman Khan, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really wonderful having you here and definitely learning from your experiences. But before I wrap up,
It was
is
in.
there? But before I wrap up, Suman, is there anything you would like to share with our audience or any message you would like to leave them with?
Well, I would like to share one of my favorite poems. I've written more than 20 poems, and one of them is wake up, the sun is rising, the dreams are calling. Wake up, the rest is becoming a big sin. Wake up, stop now falling, just start crawling. Wake up, your land is blasting, your blood is calling. Wake up. My dear lazy fellows, my dear Pakistanis, all you need to do is wake up, wake up.
All
So
right,
thank you for your
wake up,
time.
wake up.
It was really
I will
wonderful.
call it to the people when I meet them. Wake up, wake up. This is a good advice for all of the
Okay.
people.
I would
And
recommend.
you would
Okay.
recommend me, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And one last thing, any suggestion or any message for me?
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Any message or any suggestion for me?
Uh, for you
Yeah,
or for the audience? Yeah.
for me only.
Keep growing. The only message I have for you is keep growing, keep doing the good work. You're doing a great job. No matter what people say, keep doing the best that you can. And that's it.
Suman Khan, thank you very much once again. Have a lovely day. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you
Allah
so much.
Hafiz.
Have a great Allah Hafiz.